What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Now today I'm working on a few things. I'm working on the RS6 because it threw a coat on me about a month ago. Actually, I'm finally getting around to it. And then the X5 is also now throwing a coat on me. So that one has the 4x4 ABS and I forget what the other code was. So I think that one is for the transfer case actuator, which hopefully gets here today. If it does, then it'll make it to this vlog. If not, well, I guess I'm only working on the S4. What I'm doing now is the RS6. So what I'm suspecting is I have a vacuum leak or a boost leak somewhere in my lines. Oh, let me close that instead. And so I know it's a little bit hard to see. I think I figured out where it's coming from. I think it's on the MAF side. So on this car, the intakes are these two sides right here, and it literally goes down under into a MAF and then into the turbo inlet like that. So I think the inlet side on the turbo or the MAF, so where the seal little rings where the MAF is, that one is probably degraded because I think that's where the leak is coming from. So if you guys are wondering, I have it hooked up through a smoke tester right here. Now I also do have some leak that's coming from the front end here, but it's somewhere, I'm not really entirely sure, and I'm not sure if it's coming from there and just kind of getting pushed out here, or it is actually coming from somewhere here. Unfortunately, it's likely the case that my MAF little O-ring thing is probably bad, so I'm gonna go see if I could order that and get to that later on, because I can't really repair something if I don't have the parts. Now while I wait for that part, I do have to replace the brake pads on the RS6 also. The RS6 is getting some serious neglect here. There's some parts, I think I've had that parts for almost 6 months now, so I'm just gonna have to do it today. By the way, I just found out I was using the wrong fitting for this thing. I was actually using this older one right here, and I thought all my fittings, or at least that quick disconnect, was for this. But when I actually tried it out with this one, it doesn't actually leak, at least not as much as that. It leaks a little bit, but not as much as that. So yeah, learned something new. I thought I bought everything for this fitting, but I guess I didn't. So I either have to change that quick disconnect right here to match all my tools for this, because a lot of my air tools are on this setup, or buy new fittings altogether, which I think I'll probably switch to this because I've been having like leaking issue with this.
Wait, what are you doing?
Yeah, dirty. Alright, here's the cool thing about the RS6 brakes. You literally just take off this pin that was right here, and then you're able to pop off the brakes out this way. That's it. That's pretty simple. Alright, so when it's time to put this thing back, just push the pistons, and then this thing will just slide in just like that. Just make sure that it bottoms out on this pin right here. Alright, and then you put the last one in just like that. It's harder on myself by holding the camera here. And there you go. I put this in the clip, and I'll be done for the brakes. So it looks like my boot is torn. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I'm gonna have to get new axles for this car because now it's torn there, and it looks like it's actually also torn over here. Chances are the other side is always the same, but of course I'll go check it, and then if it is, I'll have to order a new axle, and then I guess come back to it whenever it gets here. See right there, it's already starting to get all over my fenders, or inside of the fender. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go spray that a little bit with brake cleaner just to make sure, but after that I'm just gonna put the tires in, and then that's it. Alright guys, so check out how close it got. I mean, I've had this for 6 months again, you know, just really didn't make time to replace it. The thing with this car, the rotors, they're like $600-700, so really lucked out that I didn't go down to bare metal. Alright, so the passenger side, looks like that one's not damaged, but this one is. So definitely we'll be replacing both the axles on both sides. Alright, so I finished the brakes on the RS6 already. I actually have the back brakes. I bought it here also. It's not as bad as the front one, so I'm gonna do that probably, I want to say next month, but maybe 6 months from now. Just kidding. Hopefully when the axles gets here. So I'll be ordering new axles and also the new seal for the MAF, or the new O-rings. So once that gets here, whenever it gets here, I'll work on all of that again. But for now, I did get the part that I need for the Audi, or for the BMW. So let me show you guys what part exactly I'm talking about. Alright, here are the two parts that apparently needs, at least, you know, based on my research, is what I found. This is the gear for the actuator motor for the differential. And of course the actuator for that is located where this wire is. So then I actually had to drop this whole subframe looking thing. And then I should have access to that, and once I do that, I'll take it off and then I'll show you guys and see if that's actually a problem or not. So I ended up dropping this subframe, or I guess it's like the bracket for the transfer case, and then so you guys can see I now have access to the gear motor right there, or I guess it's also called an actuator. I don't really know what it's called, but that right there. So there was 2 bolts behind here, and then this 2 bolts right here is the one up front, and it should now be ready to take off. I think. There you go. Got it. Alright, so here's the tricky part. I guess these things are pressed in here, or like pushed in, so I have to be very careful and I guess push it back out. So I accidentally broke that edge right there, but as it turns out, that was the fastest way or easiest way to actually get this thing off. It was stuck on there pretty good. So that kind of worked out. Shouldn't be a problem once I put this back together. So now let's see, initial inspection, got the greasing on there. Can't really, well, you might. This side right here looks like it has some gearing issue. I'll open it up just for us to see it. Well, this could be a problem since I don't actually have a small pliers for a C-clip like this. Oh, shoot. Whew, almost lost it. Luckily it landed here. Alright. Okay, so moment of truth. Let's check this out. Any gearing issue? Ooh, this one. Looks like right here is a bit of a problem. It's not that bad though, so that could be a problem. It's not it. But at this point, I'm just hoping that that's the problem, or that's the main cause of it not working correctly. Alright, so I put it back in the car, turned it on, reset the whole steering thing. It's kind of weird with the BMW. But so far so good, it didn't come back on. So now the wife is going to go for a drive and see if it comes back on after like 10-15 minutes of driving around. If it doesn't, hopefully that fixed it. And if it does, well, back to square one. While that's going on, I'm going to go ahead and reset everything here. And let's get ready for the next part. Alright, so it's actually a different day today. Actually it's a week later. So the first part is this episode is going to be from last week. I got busy with other stuff, so I had to stop doing car stuff. So when I get this out to you guys, which is probably tomorrow, Sunday, this is going to be what happened when you guys see it the day before, so Saturday. Now the grill for the trunk isn't here yet, but this thing showed up. So this is 3/8 lines. This is what I'm going to be using to route this. This is replacing the 1/4 line, which I think is a little bit small, but I mean technically it works, but I'm gonna go with something a little bit bigger. I have that. I also bought a new tool, a little spring bender, tube bender thing that you kind of just slip on here and then you bend it to shape, just to make sure I don't have any kinks on there, and you know, leaking, all that stuff. I did figure out how I'm gonna route it. I'm kind of thinking it's gonna go something like this, come up to here somewhere, most likely in there, and then come up to my A pillar and follow this route right here, come back down, and then eventually come out this way and connect to the radiator. And of course we'll be finishing up the mounting of this fan right here to there. Alright guys, so 4 tabs mounted. Now I was struggling with my welds here, as you guys can see. That does not look pretty. And I couldn't figure it out. I mean, that top part right there, they were just not working out well for me. Alright, so I was trying to figure out how in the world did I forget how to weld aluminum. So I tried it here and I was still not getting anything. Come to find out, and I don't know how I missed this, it's probably because I don't have a whole lot of free flow and post flow. But my tank is empty, so now I'm on my backup tank. So once I switch, that's how that looked. And of course my last one with actual, you know, gas, that looks a lot better than this stuff that's going on here. So now I'm gonna go ahead and try to re-weld this, because it looks like I ran out of gas actually last week or 2 weeks ago now. Alright guys, here it is, all done. Alright, so moral of the story, I mean, it's always good to look within first. You know, I was kind of thinking I just forgot how to weld aluminum again, because I haven't welded aluminum for some time. But it's also a good idea to make sure your equipment is actually fully functional. Now that we have the fan mount welded into the radiator, let's put everything back. And yeah. Alright, so the fan is now mounted, hard mounted, so that's good, pretty solid. Couple things to note, I did leave a gap right here just in case this thing, if it ever actually moves up and down or whatnot. Also, I left a little bit of a gap. I know it's a little hard to see, but right here between the radiator and this actual fan housing, it's about 1/4 of an inch or so. I'm gonna be putting a, I don't know what they're called, but they're like little foam that you put in between the radiator there to make sure that I get full sealing and actually pulls out all the air instead of getting bypassed. I didn't want to put it too close to the radiator in case this thing kind of moves. I don't know how hardcore or how much of a usage I actually have with the car, so not sure how much movement this thing will get. Didn't want to put that too close and, you know, rip out apart all the fan and or the fins and all that. So just found out just exactly how hard this thing is to bend. Kind of wish I would just went back to copper, but now that I have this, I'm gonna go see if I could make this work. Copper was so much easier to bend, by the way. Alright, so I got this bender, little spring right here. Just gonna go try it first to see how, you know, how much of a bend I can actually get. Yeah, this thing is pretty hard. Oh boy, this is gonna be fun. Yeah, this is definitely gonna be fun. So I can't make short radius turn. I could probably do it if I put it against something. Alright, so for the time being, I do need to, I'm gonna need some flatheads here. I'm gonna need to take out all the panels on the passenger side, and since I'm eventually gonna do a weight reduction for this car, I'm actually not planning to put it back. And actually, it doesn't even have a bolt. Looks like the last owner didn't even bother putting that back, so I think it should just snap on. To warn you guys, never actually taken out anything from this car before, so yeah, I guess that's how you take that off. Just a few clips there. Airbag is right here, and looks like this one is still in place. Well, I don't know how much of that got recorded, but I took off this thing and then the visor and the side panel, or that pillar. And then, as I was saying, I'm not sure if I want to do everything now. There's a bolt in there. Oh, okay. think I just broke that. I think it's really stuck. I guess I could probably fold it, just take it out from there. Alright guys, that was a solid 1 pound weight loss. That was way too much work for 1 pound. Alright, so now let's take out the airbag unit. Figure out how first, and then take it out. And it's really nice not having to worry about having to break stuff. I looked it up. There's not a whole lot of people that are removing this airbag, so I didn't find a, what do you call that, instruction manual or instruction on how to safely remove them. What I'm thinking is it needs a trigger to turn on the airbag, so I'm gonna go disable that first, and then I'll remove the airbag. There you go. Looks like a couple bolts. One here. Right here. Alright, now I really have to put you guys down because I can't. I need my hands here. Okay. Alright. Ow. So one airbag is gone. So more stuff here. I guess there's supposed to be like little clips in there. I'm a little bit paranoid with those airbag stuff. So I literally cut them off just in case if they do, you know, I don't know how, but if they do accidentally discharge, I just want it to be going poof, you know, with the air and not that exploding on me or something. So a little bit paranoid. I don't know if you actually will, you know, accidentally trigger or whatever, but better safe than sorry. So now the question is, at this point, do I keep going and take off this sunroof? I mean, I don't really have a plans to drive it on the rain. I guess I could get caught in the rain. Leave it for now. Gotta figure out what to do with all this wiring. Got all this. Now I have wiring hanging out from the roof. Kind of like the idea of working sunroof, but I know the weight. By the time I'm actually trying to get my goal there of 2,800 pounds, the weight is gonna be a problem. So take that off. Now this is actually a working sunroof, which to me kind of sucks because, you know, normally these are the things that doesn't work. So you're like trying to get it to work. But, you know, weight reduction life. I don't really like doing this, but for now, again, another temporary one. I'm gonna put this line right here and then just kind of goes up to the A pillar. At least I'm gonna try to. Alright guys, so I'm gonna stop the video right here. Gotta figure this out later on. Maybe I'll sleep on it and figure out how to go do that. Now in the meantime, I can check off one more thing. Alright, so from the list, we mounted the fan. So another one, sweet. Or we're technically a little bit behind. I'm supposed to have done this one right here already. But that's alright. I still have this week, or I still have tomorrow, and then the rest of the week. So we'll see what we can get to. In the meantime, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.